like science.
I like science.
I like science.
Brandy is recording topless.
Science.
She's not. It just looks like she is in Zoom because she's, it's summer, so she's wearing just this strappy top, but her hair's so long that it covers the straps. And so I'm only
So,
getting about like mid torso up from her. Well, not even that. It's more like a 1/3 torso
yeah,
up. And so, yeah, it looks from here like you're topless.
I'm a bad girl.
Yep. Speaking of
Ah,
bad girls, but we'll get to that.
yes. Welcome. Thanks for coming back. If you're just joining us for the first time,
If you're Jerry,
where have you? Well, shut up. I'm really tired.
I know.
If you're joining us for the first time, go back and start with episode 1. No, you don't have to. You don't have to, but I do recommend it. We have a lot of fun on this show,
Well, I
and
don't even know if there's really inside jokes that we do. So it's like I think you can dip in any episode and be fine.
yeah, that's the beauty of doing this randomly. It's
Hmm.
not in order, so you're not gonna miss out on something.
It's not like
So
we ever introduce ourselves, so this is not unusual.
fucking hell, I'm Brandy.
I'm Dave.
We are the married couple that likes to talk about Star Trek. That's not an unusual thing. There are many married couples who like to talk about Star Trek and have podcasts of their own, but we do our thing. And yeah. So
Yep. She's
again,
she's the mega fan, I'm the casual fan, and together we
yeah,
talk about Star Trek.
I don't know, you're kind of getting closer to Mega Fan.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I know names more than I
Yeah,
used to, so
yeah. I wouldn't call you a casual fan anymore. I would just say fan at
okay.
this point. But yeah. So just little stuff before we begin because I
Little
always forget to
stuff.
put this at the end. Thank you to Dan Gunther for the use of your
Ah, right.
spreadsheet. He shared that with us and it's made everything so much easier. And also just remember to fight fascism and to fuck ICE. So keep those things in mind while you go about your daily lives. And we will get going on the episode for this week, which is Lower Decks Season 3, Episode 1, Grounded. Great episode. Love it. Let's get going. Got anything
Okay.
you want to say off the top of your head, Dave?
It was, I was trying to recall exactly what happens when in this episode because it's frantic. Like a lot of Lower Decks episodes are frantic because it's animation, it's comedy, and so things happen quickly. I mean, that's like a criticism people have of Lower Decks is that they speak loudly and quickly.
And that's what subtitles are for. Um,
But that's something they even addressed in the crossover with Strange New Worlds. It's
yes.
like, God, everybody talks so slowly and quietly here. What's with that?
Loved that. Oh man, I love that episode so much. Ugh. What it begins with actually is a recap
Effing.
of the events leading up to the season finale of season 2.
Yeah, we get a news
And
broadcast.
yeah, and then we get to get that news broadcast, and then Mariner is throwing things at that screen and breaks it. She's on
Oh,
Earth with her dad.
yeah, and he has how many screens? There's like 5 of them that
So
she's
many
throwing
screens.
things at.
He's an admiral. Admirals need more
Yeah.
screens.
They seem to be prizes that he's earned. They have like plaques on them, and they're like weird crystal cacti looking awards
Yeah.
that she's picking up and throwing against the screens. And her dad's like, there's an off switch.
Yeah. And she's upset because Mariner's the fixer. She's the one who just goes out and fixes things whether somebody wants her to or not. That is her vibe. She gets shit done. But at this point, there's nothing that she can do to help. And that is extremely frustrating for her. And I understand that, but it's making her volatile.
Yeah, her mom's on trial for blowing up the Pac-led homeworld.
Yeah,
And there's
Pac-Led
video
Planet.
footage of her with a bomb purchased from Klingons, and she's in a shuttle delivering it to the Pac-led palace.
Yeah, as if. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously that's all a setup, but you know. And the funny thing is that at the end of season 2, I was the person who said, no, there's no way in hell that Freeman did this, and I bet it was the Pac-Leds who did it to themselves.
Oh yeah, the Pac-Leds would blow up their own planet to be relocated to a more resource plentiful planet.
Yep, and I was right.
Yep. That's exactly what happened because the
That
Pac-Leds are
yeah,
that dumb that they'd blow up their own homeworld to
yeah,
get another planet.
yep. So, and also there's a thing on this little news thing about the Varugament, which is coming in through the solar system,
Hmm.
and it's basically they're glowing space critters, and they're
They're
gonna
the friendly version of the critters from the Hail Mary project.
yes,
They just seem to drift along like solar flares or whatever,
yeah,
and they seek a place to reproduce, apparently.
mm-hmm. And so that's their, and they also put off fields of energy that scramble communications and whatnot.
Yeah, you can't transport
Yeah,
with them between because it blocks the transporter beam.
yep.
However, transporter beams work.
Mm-hmm. I do love Mariner getting all pissed off about the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, it's like nobody even drives anymore. What is that dumb thing?
Well, the funny
It's
thing
the
is
Golden Gate
that
Bridge. What's
you
ugly?
in the background when
Hmm.
you see it, you see like shuttles flying across it as if they were cars.
Yeah, but they're not like actually on it. It's
I
just
know.
there.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah.
People like the bridge. I like the bridge. I
Where's
have
it
to
go?
say,
Oakland? Who goes to Oakland? Nah, I love
yeah.
Oakland. The big death rock scene in Oakland right now.
Um, I have walked across the Golden Gate Bridge. I probably have talked
Hmm.
about this before, but I don't know if I've done that on this podcast. And it is massive. It's you see it in movies and stuff, and you think, yeah, that's a big thing, but it's nothing compared to actually being on it, especially as a pedestrian.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're completely like once you get about 30, 40 feet out,
Uh-huh.
there is nothing below you but water.
Yeah. There's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has a San Francisco um duplicate, just like how San Andreas is actually Los Angeles.
Hmm.
They have San Fierro or something like that, and they have a Vegas city as well that are, reproductions.
Yeah.
And there is the Golden Gate Bridge, and there is a tourist kind of center for information. And there's
Mm.
this board that tells you all the information, just like there is for the Golden Gate Bridge, and it tells you how many polygons it is, how much memory it takes up.
Hmm.
It's, instead of, how many cables, how much tonnage, all that stuff. It's all coding language, which is
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Well, it's a spectacular bridge, and it's also terrifying. And as we have mentioned before, I have this thing called
Megaphobia?
megalophobia.
Megalophobia.
Yeah. And basically it's fear of
The
really
fear of
big
big things.
things. And so when I was walking across the Golden Gate Bridge, I could not look down and I
Right.
could not look up. I tried
Well, you have
looking up
acrophobia
once.
too, so
Yeah, I tried looking up and I just went,
mhm.
nope, I'm gonna fall
Yep.
over and I'm gonna fall into the ocean and I'm going to die. And so I was just very just
Yep.
straight ahead. That was what I looked at. And I could look out, across to
Right.
see other things,
Hmm.
but see Alcatraz in the distance and stuff like that. But I
Right.
couldn't look up and I couldn't look down. And I don't regret doing that walk, but at the same time, it was one of the most terrifying things I've ever done.
Yeah. I was about to say, because of your megalophobia, I really scare you in the bedroom. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. I can't even sell that joke. Um,
You made your wife
yeah.
laugh. That's all that
hmm
matters.
Another thing about the Golden Gate Bridge, while we're on the topic, is that its color is construction red or construction orange. It was
Sometimes.
painted there for safety sake, and everybody was wondering what to paint it. I guess somebody even said like black and yellow stripes as like a warning to people. And it's like that would be an eyesore,
Hmm.
but they realized this painting that they did, as a warning was pleasant to the eye, and so they just kept it.
Well, and when I walked across this, now keep in mind that this is a ridiculously long time ago because
Uh-huh.
I was trying to remember. I was 17 at the time. So, and now I'm 53, but they were in the process of repainting it. So they had put down the what I'm guessing is the primer, which
Right.
was gray. So
hmm
some of it was gray and some of it was this orangey red that
Yep.
normally is.
Right.
So, and that's more than I expected that we would talk about the Golden Gate Bridge. But since I have had actual experience being
Mhm.
there, I guess that's okay.
Oh, I have also news about Alcatraz since you mentioned it, is
Ooh.
that you know how it's native owned now, or
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is. There's actually in the treaty that this tribe, if there's a government building that they decommission, the tribe can basically auction for it.
Oh,
And so that's how they ended up getting Alcatraz,
good for them.
is that once they decommissioned it as a prison and it was like a federal building, or was it federal or state owned? I can't remember. But anyway, this particular
I'm pretty sure it was
treaty
federal.
allowed them to get in there and take it for themselves. So
Well, it was their island to begin with.
yeah.
So, yeah. Also we have a little moment with Admiral
Uh-huh.
Buenamigo, excuse me. Buenamigo, which if you don't know is basically loosely good friend.
hmm Buen amigo. Yep.
Buenamigo. He's really not
Yes.
though. He's really not. He's a
Was it
horrible,
Bueno
horrible
Ano or
person.
something like that? That means like Goodyear as the last name.
Bueno año. It's
Bueno
año.
Ano.
Año is
Yeah.
year.
Because I've heard that as a last name too.
Yeah.
Bueno Ano.
Yep. Ah. Anyway, so that's basically the cold open, and then we have the actual credits where they have added more ships because they that was a running joke throughout the
Right.
series. Is season one, we had this many ships fighting. Season two, they added more. Season three, they added more. Season four, they added more. Season five, they added more to the
Yep.
point where
More
there was
ships
so
of fighting
many.
the cube.
Yeah, there's so many in
hmm
season five that you're just like, I don't know where to look. So Mariner she's determined to help in some way instead of letting the process, work itself.
Yep. And
And
yeah.
so, yes, of course, she's going to get her friends, but she first goes to Boimler.
Boimler, here we go. This is fan fiction city right here, this scene. So she goes to Boimler, who's like right out of, Picard. He has this vineyard, but instead of making wine, they're making raisins. So they take
Hmm.
all these luscious grapes and they just dry the fuck out of them
Hmm.
until they're just rubbery, sweet, gooey snacks. And for some reason, this vineyard, his staff, the workers there are all these hot chicks
Hmm.
who are just gagging for him
Yeah.
and making very obvious sexual innuendos like, you want to test the sweetness of my bushel, one of them
Hmm.
says.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
It,
also one's feigning stupidity, like, I don't know which grape goes in which bucket. So why don't you take me over to that private shed over there and show me?
yeah. Just spray
And
off with the hose, Leanne.
oh yeah, the very final one is like, I'm all covered in grape juice and I need somebody to strip me naked and clean me.
Yeah, just spray off
Just
with the
spray
hose,
yourself with
Leanne.
completely oblivious to the fact. And you see a couple of girls also whispering to each other
Hmm.
about him. And it's like, what is with Boimler with that? He's got this magnetic charm to all these ladies. They're very interested in him.
It's because he's not paying any attention to them.
Ah, that's the thing. He's hard to get. He's
Hmm.
inaccessible, and that can be a turn on, is the guy that nobody can get.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's absolutely clueless to all these hot ladies, and it's like, yeah, you can go to town with fan fiction with this particular scene. Just live in this scene. It's like Tenchi Muyo, but X-rated. Just have a harem of
Uh,
all these sexy ladies working for him.
yep. And yeah, they just don't
They don't get it.
they don't get it. He
Yep.
doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it. He's
Or maybe
clueless.
he gets it and he just doesn't care.
No, I get the impression that he's too dense to pick up on that these are women throwing themselves at him, and he's not seeing it because it's Boimler. I don't think he's one of those that does the double thing, that he sees it and he pretends not to. I think genuinely he's too dense in that regard, in that societal regard, to realize that they're coming on to him.
I don't necessarily agree. I agree that he I think that he knows that they're coming onto him and he just has
Mm,
no patience for it anymore.
mm,
And because, every time he talks to somebody, one of them that comes up and tries to, seduce him, he's just like, no, do this, do your
yeah.
job, basically. That's what he's saying every time.
Yeah,
So,
I just take what's presented, because yeah, I don't get the impression that he's aware of what they're doing. I think he's actually treating them like they're just bad employees that don't understand what they're supposed to do, when clearly they do. They're just trying to get him alone or whatever.
yeah. Well, anyway, um, and Mariner doesn't really talk about
Yeah.
it either. That's
No,
funny.
she kind of looks at it like it's weird, but she doesn't make any comments on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the comedy of the scene plays because he's unaware of what's happening, and that's what makes the joke work. I think if
Yeah.
he was aware, it would be less funny.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. So, anyway, thankfully those magpies shut the hell up. We
Yeah, we
had
had magpies earlier that were just chattering.
seriously, I don't know how many of them there were. There were at least two, possibly three or four,
I
but
mean, one could make plenty of noise, but yeah.
they were squawking at each other for 9 hours. 9 hours, you
Yeah, especially
guys.
the cats. Anytime a cat went outside, the magpies would just go off.
Yeah, mean little assholes.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, basically Mariner wants Boimler's help to help her mom and he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to get out of here."
Yep.
And
So they got
off
to
they
get the
go.
team together, which
Yep,
means going to what, Louisiana?
Louisiana, so
Nolans,
they can get
Tindy,
Tendi
and
and
Rutherford.
Rutherford. And Rutherford is in a very good replica,
Jake
suggesting
Sisko.
a Jake Sisko
Yeah,
sweater.
Jake Sisko, where it's got one block pattern and the rest of it's this checkerboard of different colors. It's very 90s,
It
when
is so
that kind of
90s.
multicolor kind of outfit was all the rage.
Yeah, and that's not the only Deep Space Nine reference we get. There's also some hot sauce called Ketracel White Hot.
Yep, there's a lot of Deep Space Nine, uh, because I would think they're actually eating at Sisko's restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're having like gumbo with hot sauce, and
Mhm.
yeah, Boimler just puts a little drop of it on his stuff and it's too hot for him. He gets all sweaty, and his voice is raspy.
And then there's Mariner who just keeps dumping it on and then says, "Oh, that's a nice little kick."
Yep. Yeah, she like puts half a bottle of it in hers.
Yeah, Ketracel. Oh my God, I love how well Mike McMahon knows Star Trek
Yeah.
because he's so good at putting all this stuff in. So yeah, they're gonna hatch a plan. They're gonna hatch a plan, and the thing is they've got to get to the ship because Boimler has said that his logs will help in the trial because
Yep.
he basically re-records all of the senior staff's logs.
Yep. So he takes the captain's logs, re-records them, and
Hmm.
adds his own little perspective, which is usually something embarrassing, like how
Yep.
he's has gas or how Ransom almost remembered his name or said it. He said
Hmm.
Boiler, but it sounded like Boimler.
Hmm.
Yeah, the plan is to go to, I guess, this museum of transporters.
Yeah, well, they don't know it's a museum of transporters. It's just a transporter station.
Yeah, it's a transport station, but there's like a bunch of them there, and they're going
Yeah,
to
he's a
use
the
that to get to the ship.
yeah, because Carlton Dennis is a buffer buff. He's a
Yeah,
transporter buff.
right.
Buffer buff is what he calls him. Yeah, so they I love how he's so ahead of them. That's the
Oh
funny
yeah.
part. And he's just like, yeah, most people who come here want to knock me out and use my transporter to get where they need to go.
Yeah.
And they're all side-eyeing each other, going, shit, that's what we were planning on
Well, he
doing.
even pulls a phaser on them.
Yeah. And then they're just like, no, no, we weren't going to do that, even though they were absolutely going to do that. But Tenny was
Yep.
like, I can't do this. He's like everybody's grandpa.
He even offers them a butterscotch.
Yep. Hey, butterscotches are yummy.
Yep.
Love butterscotches.
And
And
then he talks
he's,
about his wife that passed, and Mariner's like, "Ah, I can't do it."
yeah. And then basically they divulge what they're trying to do. And he's like, hey, I'll make some soup. And so they have dinner and they, they'd already eaten. I don't know how, it's like more soup. And you can always have more soup. You can
Yeah, I
always have more
suppose
soup.
you could. Well, there's
It's soup.
eventually you can't, but
Yeah.
yeah,
They tell
since
him the
they can't
story.
actually beam anywhere because of these critters, these space critters, that they're going to have to go laterally, so beam elsewhere on planet. That should work fine.
Yeah, and that's when they get the idea to go to Bozeman, Montana, because he talks about the rides,
Hmm.
and you can actually go up in a replica of the ship that Zephram Cochrane used to finally break the warp barrier.
Right.
And by breaking the warp barrier, I mean going into warp, not like warp 10. We're not
No, yeah,
we're
just
not getting
to
any
warp itself.
salamanders
It's
here.
like Mach 1, breaking the
Yeah,
sound barrier, breaking the warp barrier is
yeah,
warp 1 he
yeah.
was able to go at.
And oh my God, that when they get to this amusement park, it is so full of all of these little, things, all of these little
Well, yeah,
references to
Tindy and
first
Rutherford
contact.
alone are wearing Cochrane's hat as if you can
Yep.
buy it there like it's their Mickey ears.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You see the Zephram Cochrane statue. And
Yep, there's the bar with the jukebox that plays only one song.
yep. And the counter that Deanna Troy got drunk at.
Hmm.
Don't talk to me about time. We
Uh,
don't have time.
yeah, to talk about time.
Yeah. And the music, they definitely got permission to use the first contact music, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
It made me so happy
Well,
because
yeah,
first,
it all belongs to Paramount, so that's all
yeah,
free to use.
but it's just it's one of my favorite soundtracks in Star Trek.
Hmm.
Um, it's just really a beautiful soundtrack. And yeah, so basically their plan is they're going to go on the ride, they're going to take over the ship because it's just a hologram
Hmm.
that's driving the ship.
Yeah,
And
Rutherford could easily hack it and they can just use it as a standard chip.
yeah, and just get to where they need to go. And then there's this guy who comes in at the last minute because he's a single rider. And what was his name? Gavin, that was it. So and they're
Who's
like, no, 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 you
afraid of
really,
space travel.
yeah, he's like, no, no, you really should go on a different ship. And then they said, no, single riders need to go on this one. So like,
Hmm.
okay. Um, and I really love the animation of the ship shooting out of the, you know, just blasting off. It was really nicely done.
It's
And
awfully weird because it has thrusters to be that near civilization. Because when we launch rockets, there's usually a good distance between the rocket and anybody because, just they'd be immolated.
Yeah, but this is like the 24th century. It's fine.
Yeah.
They have ways around that. So, and I love that they got James Cromwell to actually come back and do the voice of Zephyr Cochrane. Well done. Well done. We appreciate that.
Yeah, there's this little recording about not bringing snacks on board the ride, and that's very Disney coded.
Oh, very, very Disney code. It's like Star Tours.
Hmm.
So, yeah, which I can't go on anymore because it makes me sick. It didn't used to, but now I'm older and I can't do it anymore. So, and the same song that was playing when Riker and Geordi and Cochrane blasted off
Yeah, Magic Carpet
is
Ride.
yeah, is the same
Yeah.
song that was playing in this ride. Which, just attention to detail.
Yeah.
Love that attention to detail. And the animation was really pretty. It was
It
just
was. It's that combination of like hand drawn and CG or CG, yeah, computer
hmm
generated images. So
yeah.
yeah, when the ship is passing over a planet, it's really nice. It has this nice rotation to it as it goes across, the orbital path and then
Yeah.
reaches uh the station that the Cerrito still without its outside coating on
With that's
its
whole.
armor
Yeah.
plating, its
It's
hull.
so fucking cool. It's
Yeah,
such a
it's
cool
just
thing.
copper everywhere.
It's just man, I loved that season finale of season two.
Hmm.
That was one of the most impressive season
Yeah.
finales in Star Trek, I feel like. But yeah, the thing is that they can't actually get to the ship because the ride is on a specific course, but Boimler can change what it thinks is where they need to go. And so they do that and they manage to get to the Cerritos. And then Gavin decides that he's going to take the ship and just run off and be a captain.
Yeah, because now he's a space traveler.
Yeah, no, he's so excited now.
Hmm.
And of course, we have two security people at a space station nearby, one of the older ones that are, and they don't really notice anything until it starts to move. But before that, Mariner, they get the logs, they get Boimler's logs, and she's like, this is not even going to help. And he says, well, it could. I mean, all the other information is still there.
I
It
don't
could
like
prove,
Mariner in this scene.
yeah, oh, I
I
know.
really honestly don't like. She's hard to like anyway because
Yes.
she's so abrasive
Mm-hmm.
that when she just puts down Boimler for all his embarrassing notes and says that it's a joke and they'll take it as a joke. But honestly, his reports are there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a replication of Freeman's logs. They're
Yeah.
there. The times and dates are there, and a court could use those. But because it has this extra information on there, somehow that makes it not usable. And I don't make the connection. I
Well,
think Mariner's being too much of a perfectionist there.
it's not even so much a perfectionist. Her one goal is to save her mom.
Right.
And anything that doesn't advance that goal makes her angry, even more angry than
Yeah.
she already is. Because
And
she is
yeah.
really just one thing away from just going complete rogue. And she ends up doing that. She ends up
Yes.
doing that.
Yeah. So when she gets them off the ship and then tries to take over the Cerritos on her own, which is crazy
Mhm.
that one person could fly the ship.
Yeah,
But
well, that's the beauty of Starfleet, You
yeah.
can have one person be able to fly the ship.
Yeah. I mean, look at Troy, she managed to actually sort of land the Enterprise
Hey,
under
she
terrible
safely
circumstances.
she safely landed the saucer section
Hmm.
with no loss of life.
Yep.
So anyone who wants to, talk about women drivers and bullshit, you can just fuck right off. She saved lives,
Yep.
and no one could have done it any better.
Yeah, and this is when the shuttle's taking them back to somewhere, and that's when Boimler programs the shuttle to think it's
Right.
going to Earth.
But it's not.
And so the shuttle follows the same trajectory as Cerritos, which is also going to Earth. And that way they manage to get just inside the shuttle bay.
They
They
kind of
almost
crash
miss
into
it.
it.
They kind of clip the shuttle bay and crash, and even Rutherford says, "Hey, we're alive."
He's always so happy.
Yeah.
Just happy to be alive. Yeah, because she's basically locked them out of all command functions and whatnot because she's going to use the ship. I don't even know where she thinks she's gonna
I don't know
go.
where she's gonna go, what she's gonna do. I don't know if she's gonna attempt a prison break. She's not really
Probably.
thinking
No, she's
in a
not.
consequential way. She's flying by the seat of her pants, and which is another weird thing about her putting Boimler down for his logs, because they would have worked.
Hmm.
They had the dates and times, and that's all they needed. Everything else, who cares?
Yeah.
But and even her friends are telling her that, and this is something she says later on, is like all along they've been informing her, hey, Starfleet knows what they're doing. Your mom's
Hmm.
going to be fine. This is clearly not something she's done. There's nothing you really need to do other than trust the system. But she doesn't trust systems because she's an anarchist, really.
Hmm.
She doesn't like authority. She doesn't trust authority. And so she suspects that Starfleet's going to fail her mother when really all she has to do is sit on her hands and wait.
Oh, that is not something that Mariner is good at.
No, but she's sticking her nose in the business. She's, stealing one ship after the other, and what's her plan ultimately? I don't think she has one really.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
She just has
And
to be doing something.
yeah, after the rest of the crew gets, the crew of the lower decks gets back on board, they try to stop Mariner and they have a fight scene, which is pretty funny because Mariner is just this great fighter.
Hmm.
Even Tendy's struggling to, keep her down. She's just mopping the floor with Boimler and Rutherford because neither of them is really a fighter.
Yeah, but Rutherford does lock her out of the controls.
Yes, because he's the engineer that can do that sort of thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
takes command, and then she has a breakdown because
Yeah.
she's run across the wall or run into a wall so many times that this is the final wall. That's like, yeah, after this, there's nothing she can really do.
Yep.
She's lost command of the Cerritos, and so now what?
Well, I really love the two security guys that are just sitting in the
Yeah.
space station and they're like, "Hey, was the Cerrito supposed to be, going anywhere today?" He's like, "Not that I know of." And so they just kind of watch it for a minute.
Hmm.
And then one of them, without even looking at the thing, just presses a button for red
Yeah,
alert.
yeah, just casually hits the red
Just
alert button. And
cash.
the other guy was playing the 3D computer chess,
Mm-hmm.
which was kind of fun.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing, It's when you have downtime, when I mean you're doing your job, but at the
Yep,
same time, what if there's nothing to do? Play computer chess,
yep.
play Scott, play whatever. So,
It's like that scene in Avengers when somebody's playing Galaga on their
hmm.
computer. And really, they should have just left that as an aside. It's just Tony being Tony and not
Hmm.
actually cut to a scene of somebody playing Galaga. Is
Yeah,
why put that insert there? Just make it a Tonyism. No, he's
yeah,
just joking about all the computers and one person not at work playing Galaga, but
yeah.
they couldn't resist. They had to put in the insert or the gag.
Well, the thing is that wouldn't the people next to him know that he was playing Galaga?
Yeah, and isn't this really important business you're attending to right now?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, why are you playing a very strange retro game? I mean, to play something on a computer console, it's not going to be Galaga,
yeah.
Tetris, Minesweeper, Solitaire.
Hmm.
There's quite a number of games you could be playing on your computer, but Galaga?
Yeah. Well, he was thinking he wasn't going to get caught. So now that Starfleet has been alerted, they've got to make a plan. And so they go to one of the shuttle bays and they are helping, and I use air quotes there, the Varugament, getting their
They're transporting gametes from one
gametes
to
from
the
one to the
other.
other,
So they're
helping
basically
them
picking up space
reproduce.
sperm and putting it
Yep.
into space wombs.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing. And there are two officers that come on board and they're like, "What are you doing? And why who do you have permission from? Blah, 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 all that sort of thing." And they're just and they keep getting shocked by the
Yeah, because
berugaments.
there's tentacles. There's electric tentacles on these space critters that will zap them as they're doing this.
Yeah. Just,
And
yeah,
they're all covered in this purple goo.
they're covered in alien splooge.
Yep.
Yeah, berugament splooge.
Yep.
So, yeah, and basically they're just like, oh, we just need to know the name of the commanding officer that authorized this. And that's when everybody gets a little nervous.
Hmm.
And then da 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 da
The
in
door
through the
opens.
doors. It's the bridge crew. It's
Yep.
Captain
Freeman.
Freeman and Commander Ransom and Shax and Anna. And yeah, she's like, oh yes, I was the one who authorized this, blah blah. And the guys are like, okay, thanks, bye. And they just take a hike. And basically, then we get a recap of how all the stuff that was going on
Yeah, as a
while they
motion
were
comic,
trying.
which I thought
I
was
know, it's
hilarious.
so
Because you're
great.
already animated and you're going to save on animation by showing still images in an animated program.
Yep,
It's
yep.
so funny. Just all these flashback images of like Tuvok doing a mind meld on this forger to
Hmm.
find out about, the Klingon bomb.
Yep. And we got a Morgan Bates reference. Morgan Bates was the captain that was brought into the future because of reasons.
Hmm.
And if I remember right, it's that episode where time becomes a loop, where time becomes a loop,
Right.
where time becomes a loop. It's,
Oh, that's an Orbital song, by the
it's an
way.
orbital song where they took Worf's actual dialogue as a
Yeah.
sample.
It's more of an
And
interstitial than a proper song because, yeah, they
yeah,
just play Worf saying that, and it's a little off on one of them. So they
hmm,
play it so it's a loop. So it's out of sync and then goes back in sync again.
yeah,
It's a pretty clever bit of, sampling and sound manipulation.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not a proper song. It's more of a sound exercise.
And then, of course, they reveal it was the Packlids themselves that blew up their
Of
planets.
course it was.
And I was right. So sometimes I'm not right, but in this
Yeah.
case, I was right because I'm like, no, there's no way in hell that they would
The
blow up
Packlids are dumb
Packlid
enough to blow
planet.
up their own planet.
Absolutely. They have all of this technology and can use it, and yet at the same time, they don't use it for anything good. It's just
Make
the
it
Packlids.
go.
Make it go. So
Packlids are strong.
everything, yeah. So everybody's happy.
Mhm.
Everybody is gonna be okay. They got to get all the splooge off of the shuttle bay.
Yep, so which they're phasing off and Tendy's whistling while she's doing it.
Yep. Just cleaning things up. But
Ever the optimist.
yeah. But now Mariner's in deep shit with her mom and her
Yep.
dad.
Yeah, and Captain Freeman realizes that she allows Mariner too much leniency, that
Mm-hmm.
she's too soft on her. And so to fix that, she assigns Ransom to watch over her.
Mm-hmm. Not even just watch over her. He's her daddy now.
Well, Mama, according to Ransom,
Yeah.
I'm your mama now.
Yeah. Oh, Jerry O'Connell, I adore you.
Yep.
He's such a cool guy.
Yep. From Stand By Me. It's crazy.
He's adorkable and he's
Yep.
still adorkable. And we got to meet him last year.
Hmm.
He's just great.
A sweet guy.
Sweet guy. Really just so cool.
Yep.
So cool. Yeah. So there we go.
Did I get that right? Was he in Stand By Me now? I'm
Yes.
trying to. Yes, he was also in the
Yes, he was
Goonies.
the fat
Okay.
kid. He was
Right.
the
So
quote
he was
unquote
in
fat
both
kid.
because I was thinking, is that the same actor? And it is. So, all right.
This other thing, what were you talking about?
The Goonies?
The
I believe he's in
Goonies?
that too, right?
Is he?
I think so.
I don't think so.
That's a different kid. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's a
maybe I'm
different
getting
kid.
my kids mixed up.
Yeah, but he was definitely in Stand By Me because I watched it with you on a movie night, and that was definitely Jerry O'Connell and Will Wheaton, two Star Trek
Yep.
people.
Two Star Trek guys. Yep.
And then is Sliders. Sliders. I loved Sliders. That was fun. It was
Yep.
a fun series.
Sliders. Stand By Me. Scream 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few things.
Basically, Jerry O'Connell's the best.
Joe's
So
apartment. He was Joe.
yeah, he was Joe.
Jerry
So
Maguire, Kangaroo Jack. Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in Piranha 3D.
And he was in a Hallmark movie with his wife, Rebecca Romaine.
Nice.
So it was very good. They were actually estranged in that movie. They had been lovers, and then
Hey, Rebecca Romaine is his same age I am.
yeah,
Wow. Hmm.
and I think Jerry is. I think he was born in 1974, so he's like a year younger than I am.
Ooh.
I
Wow, he's
think.
he's 2 years younger than his wife.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Love is
I mean,
love.
if you're married to Rebecca Romaine, then fuck it, you know?
Well, the thing is that she has not had the best time um with
Spouses,
romance and
partners.
spouses, and
Yeah.
she finally found one that sticks,
Yep.
and good for her because
And
I
they're
love
super happy together. Yeah.
yeah, I love Rebecca Romaine. She is so beautiful and so fucking nerdy, and I love it.
Yep.
Just
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
she's a theater kid through and through.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Love theater kids. Love theater kids. So yeah, that was our episode of Lower Decks, and it does end with Tindy saying "home sticky home," or was it Rutherford? One of them said that "home
Yep.
sticky home" because they had still cleaning up the goo, the
Yep.
splooge. Ah, anyway, I love Lower Decks. I
You
am
too.
not apologetic about it. I do not apologize for it. I think it's a brilliant show. I think it only got better as it went along. um Season 3, that was such a great start, and season 3 was, I mean, every season I enjoyed. I have no complaints.
Right.
The first season we were still getting used to what they were doing, and but now going back and watching season 1, is very strong. It's
Hmm.
one of the strongest first seasons of any Star Trek, frankly.
Yeah, it just takes getting used to them making fun of Star Trek while also being totally in love with Star Trek. And it's what fans
Mhm.
do. Fans
Yes.
can make fun of the thing they love
Yes.
in a way that's loving.
Hmm.
And
They
so
absolutely
it's
can.
like how poor of a security officer everybody is on board their vessels because, everything always happens and
Yeah.
security can rarely stop it. So it's like Worf or Tuvok or whoever. It's like, what are you even doing there?
Hmm. Yeah, it's and I love all the voice actors. All the voice actors. I have not met all of them. I have met Fred Tatasciore, and that's pretty much it so far.
Yeah, it'd be nice
Well, no, no,
to
no. I've
meet
met Jerry
Tawny
O'Connell. I've met
because,
Jerry O'Connell, so he's
yeah,
ransom. So,
Tawny's one of those we could talk improvisation with.
mm-hmm.
Because, like, back in the day of Spontanea Nation and being the horse girl,
Yep,
and her friendship with Paul F. Tompkins.
yep.
And Yo is this racist, billion-dollar properties. I mean, I've been a fan of Tawny for a long time.
Same,
Yeah,
same.
Matt
Before she
Gorley.
was ever cast on Lower Decks.
Hmm.
So, and I was a Jack Quaid fan before he was ever cast on Lower Decks too. So,
Yep.
and Eugene Cordero, I was a fan of his because,
Yeah, The Good
Spontaneous
Place.
Nation and Good
Oh yeah,
Place. And
a lot of Spontanea Nation folks.
yes,
If you
yes.
can go back and check that podcast out, completely improvised. I mean, they get in a guest and they just talk shit and they pull information. I mean, it's classic improv show stuff of getting on somebody, have them tell stories. The improvisers pick up on things. They'll bring it into the thing that they're doing. And
Hmm.
then the previous guest is the one that determines the location.
Yep,
And so you're taking two things and blending them.
yep.
And so like a space station might be the location suggestion from a previous guest, and then you bring in whatever this person's story was, this guest's story,
Hmm.
and put it into what you're doing. So it's kind of funny if somebody's talking about horses and then you're on a space station. So how do you do that? How do you put a horse on a space station? Maybe it's a robot horse. Oh, it's delightful.
Yep.
Craig Kukowski, Mark
Hmm.
McConville. I mean, these are top notch. Of course, Matt Gorley that I mentioned before, and their Juneteenth episodes were always great, where they get Paul F. Tompkins with a full range of black improvisers, which
Hmm.
often included, Tawny Newsome. I think Ify Awataway was there. Just
Yeah.
number of some of the funniest, black improvisers
And
ever.
Paul F. Tompkins, also on Lower Decks as Dr. Miglimo,
Yep. Yeah.
which makes me very happy. Just all these
Uh,
people that we have listened to forever,
oh
and
yeah, I've been
they all end
fans
up on
of
the
for because that
vortex.
was like early days when I was getting into podcasts. That was one of the ones I was first listening to,
Yeah.
and it was hilarious. And then, it just died a death as podcasts often do, as people
Hmm.
move on to do other things.
Yeah.
So Paul F. Tompkins is, I think, still doing Super Ego with Matt Gorley, Mark McGonville, and another friend of theirs. I couldn't get into that one though. It was
Mm,
too weird in the short form stuff, and just it was too on the nose at times.
mm.
Like if they were presenting as a woman, they'd come in and announce themselves and say they're a woman, and that just isn't funny to me.
No, it's not.
It's like, hi, I'm Diane, I'm a woman. It's like that's unnecessary.
Yeah, all you have to do is say, I'm
I'm
Diane.
Diane. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, there's this something we didn't mention when they
Oh,
were getting interviewed on the steps as
right.
they're leaving the courthouse about Freeman, and all the reporters were asking them questions, and they're all wearing sunglasses and going, no comment, no. It was a funny little scene,
Yeah.
just taking, a jab at that kind of scene you'd see in other movies, other television. It seems
Yep.
weird to have that in Star Trek, the sunglasses and the reporters surrounding them. It's like this seems like a very un-Star Trek thing to happen, and I think that was the comedy of it.
Yeah. It's funny. Good times. All right, then. That is this episode wrapped
That
up.
is this episode wrapped up.
And you know what that means?
Oh yeah, I need to go to the thingy thing and do the thing.
You're always surprised that you have to do that.
Well, I'm always surprised as when it happens because I always expect it to be later rather than sooner because we usually do this and then we do some last minute stuff. So
Yeah,
964 because we haven't had any more Star Trek since then.
correct.
So we have 633.
All righty. I'm gonna guess that is probably Voyager.
I don't know, it seems a
Six.
little late to be Voyager, but maybe I'm wrong.
No. No, it's just a bit late. 633 is actually Enterprise.
There we go.
Season 1, episode 6, Terra Nova.
Terra Nova, New Earth.
Terra Nova. Terra Nova.
Terra Nova.
Yeah. That was easy to find because I was just scrolling anyway, and I was already in the 500s. So it made it very easy for me to find. So yeah, there we go. All right, everyone, you have your homework for next week. Watch
Yep.
Terra Nova. And Dave, do you have anything to tell the peoples?
Yesterday was World Goth Day, so it's a little late to tell you to celebrate it, but there should be plenty of posts on social media regarding World Goth Day. You can hit the hashtag, and there's probably all kinds of recommendations of albums and books and people dressed up, seeing photos of people showing their goth selves on that day. It was
Nice.
kind of a subdued day for me because I was working overtime, but I did listen to Trad Goth all day long and was making recommendations on Teams, over Teams at work, which is pretty funny because my manager knows a goth and was sending all these recommendations to them while I
Hmm.
was working. So yeah, yesterday was World Goth Day. Find me under DJ Evil Dave everywhere. That's YouTube, Blue Sky. You can find me there for sure. I'm usually looking there first. Listen to this podcast on Hear This. We're also on Tumblr, if anybody goes to Tumblr anymore.
Hey, my book blog is
I
on Tumblr.
forget to add the podcast to a playlist on Spotify, but we go through Spotify, and so we're definitely there. Apple Podcasts, rate and review if you'd like. It's how podcasts get noticed. You go up in the stream, you get recommended to other people. So it's always helpful to podcasters if you take the time to rate and review, and yeah, let
Yeah.
people know. Yeah, either that or word of mouth, that sort of thing. Um,
Mhm.
can't really think of much else to discuss at the moment. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Alrighty then. I don't really have anything to well, no, I do a little bit. It doesn't really pertain to anything, but Yeah. It doesn't matter. I've already forgotten what I
Okay.
was gonna say.
Was that
But
book related?
yeah, I think so. Uh,
Is there a
if
book
you
series you wanted to recommend?
no,
Okay.
oh, you can find me on Blue Sky at Brandywine 12. Not even Brandywine 12. Just Brandywine. Just Brandywine.
Just
Brandy with an
Brandywine.
I, wine, in the traditional spelling.
Brandy with an I, wine. Also
Mm-hmm.
with an I and an
Yeah.
E. In
Yep.
fact, there's an I, and an E.
Yes. We're just missing an O and a U.
And sometimes a Y.
Why?
And also an E. Well, yeah. Why? Why?
Why? Why?
Why?
So yeah, thank you guys for being here and listening to us ramble
Yep.
because we have fun
And go
rambling.
write that fan fiction
Yeah, go
of
write some fan fiction.
Boimler's Raisin Farm.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can think
gonna.
of like 12 chapters right now.
Of course you
It's not far off from what I'm writing right now, by the way. So,
can. All right, guys, be safe. And we love you. Thanks to Patrick for being alive, and and thanks to everybody who listens. Tim, I'm waving at you.
she
You
is
can't
not
see me.
waving. There she is. Okay.
I am waving. It's
Oh, it
just that
was just disappearing into your lower decks background. Okay.
yes, I'm on the lower decks bridge. I'm on the Cerritos bridge.
It's early days of blue screen with the weatherman kind of
Yeah.
resolution there.
Yep, pretty much.
When
So,
their tie would be the wrong color, and so you'd see, the low pressure movement going through across their chest.
yep. And yeah, so take care, guys. And be kind, fight fascism, fuck ice, and we will talk
Rewind.
to you next week.
Yes, Steve.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Skala.